Hey guys, it's Philip McKernan, and people often ask me, what are some of the kind of the game-changing moments, the moments that kind of almost change your perspective in life. And I think there's many of them. And I think it would be unfair to say that it came down to one or two of those experiences. But there was certain defining moments, one of which is probably to this day remains one of the happiest days of my life. And that is a day I spent in an orphanage in Sri Lanka many years ago. For those of you in the community who've worked with me, you know all about it. I've been talking about it for years. And yes, I have finally decided to pull the figure out and actually deliver an experience that I've been talking about, for quite some time. Some of the clients actually have been frustrated with me that they've given out to me and have wanted to experience this journey with me for quite some time. So in November of this year, we're actually taking a small group of people to Guatemala to work with orphans and street kids. Not anybody else on the peripheral. The reason I love kids is because I think that particularly kids that have been, in a sense, been abandoned, is they didn't have that choice. They didn't choose to come into this world depending on your spiritual beliefs. They didn't actually sit down and choose to be brought into this world and therefore be abandoned subsequently. So I think there's something very innocent, very lonely, something very sad, something very ominous, something very there's something very emotional about working with kids in particular. I went to Guatemala. I've been to Guatemala a few times. I went last year to actually look at this particular orphanage. And when I went into this orphanage, it was clean, it was nice, as orphanages go. But what struck me was the isolation of particularly the infants. I went into a room full of infants and literally they're sitting there on their own for hours on end, like hours and hours and hours. There wasn't a single adult in the room simply because they're understaffed and they don't have a lot of disposable income to pay staff to sit there with the kids. I subsequently did some research and one of the clients actually helped me out in actually understanding that actually if a child is not held and emotionally engaged physically, they die. They don't physically die, but they emotionally don't grow. And a part of their actual brain doesn't connect, like the emotional aspect of them doesn't connect and grow because they haven't been held and haven't been engaged. They don't understand what they're missing. So the whole premise and the whole underlying foundation is that we're going to go down to Guatemala. We're going to spend time, engaging with the kids, playing soccer with the older ones, cooking food, lots of different things, having a game. I think I want to create a World Cup and create lots of cool experiences and build our small little team that are going down with us into choosing and building out that thing and getting them engaged in it. But we're also going to be spending time with the infants, and as ridiculous to some as it might sound, literally simply holding them and letting them know that someone gives a shit about them, someone cares, someone here actually believes that they're good enough to be held. And I believe that that will support them in some shape or form. So if you're someone who has a heart to give, which most people, if not every single human being at some level does, consider maybe doing this experience because it's not giving back financially and sending a check, which there's nothing wrong with. This is a very different experience. This is hands-on. This is actually going to this country and participating, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because sometimes people say, well, I don't think I could handle it, and I think I'd get emotional, and what about saying goodbye to the kids and all that? That, with respect, is about you. That's not about them. That's your stuff going on there. So don't allow that get in the way. So all I'm asking you to do is consider this experience, go on this website, have a look at Give and Grow, contact our office, have a conversation with me to see if this is something that will benefit for you. And what's the benefit for you? The benefit for you is huge. I don't know exactly what it is, but here's what I believe. It's called Give and Grow. It's called Give and Grow for a reason. Because I believe as humans, when we give, we actually grow as a human being, depending on what we give. If we give out a lot of shit, we're probably not going to grow. But if we give out a lot of love, a lot of support, whether it's our time or whatever it happens to be, we grow as human beings. I believe that we're not going down to grow necessarily, that we're not giving to grow necessarily. There's not a hidden agenda, it's not conditional. But I believe by going down unconditionally, giving and giving our time and giving our energy and giving our love and giving our support to these kids, I believe that we will grow as human beings. How do I know that? Because I've experienced it, because I've watched people experience. And what makes this unique or different than any other contribution experience that you can, volunteer experience that you can go on. What makes it unique is this, is that we are going to be having every single day, we're going to be having we're creating little pods and conversations and processing what is actually going on for you while you're in Guatemala. What's coming up for you? What does it mean to you in the context of your life? And what we're going to do is we're going to create perspective between the life that you have and the life that you think you want and the life that you're seeing in Guatemala and the things that are coming up for you. And I think what will happen is it'll make the challenges and the journey and the uncertainty and the lack of clarity that you have at home a lot more clearer and cleaner and acceptable and less insurmountable, because we're actually going to be creating some significant context. So we're going to be going down, you're going to be safe, people are going to be looked after, we're going to have people on the ground there, local people we've tied into a charity that's there, so we're going to be basically well looked after, people are going to be kept safe, and we're going to be building in a twist of adventure at the end. So we're going to be spending time with street kids and orphans for the first part of the week, and the latter part of the week we're going to spend 2 days. We're going to leave early in the morning, we're going to do about a 5-hour hike. Don't worry, you need to be somewhat fit, but not like super fit, because we're going to be starting quite high up to the highest peak in Central America. There's no ropes, ice picks, or any of that crap, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll camp overnight and have an opportunity to reminisce over the week, allow the week to kind of land within us, allow the week to kind of almost percolate within us, celebrate the week, have some great conversations around a campfire. Early the following morning we will basically summit. The summit's about 45 minutes from the campsite, I believe, and we'll watch the sunrise over Central America at the highest peak in Central America as a kind of an almost a celebration of the week that we have given, the week that we've put in, the week that we have challenged ourselves, I suppose. And then we'll come back off there and spend our final night in Antigua, which is probably one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in my life, which lies just outside of Guatemala City. And then we will basically fly home. So if it's something that in any shape or form appeals to you, if you've been within our community and done something more significant like a more intense retreat in Ireland or one of the couples experiences, or whether you've been on the Everest mentoring program or something, you automatically qualify to go to Guatemala. And when I say qualify, I don't mean this in some sort of arrogant and twisted marketing gimmicky way. I mean it in the sense that we know you. So it's important that we obviously not just respect the people that we're going down to work with, the kids, etc., but we also, I say this very respectfully, respect the work that I've put in and building this experience. I don't want to go down and spend this time with people I don't know, and I've got to make sure that it's a fit for you and it's a fit for us. So again, if you're somebody who has not worked within our community, but it's been on the peripheral, maybe watches the videos, watches the blog, whatever it happens to be, just fill out this very, very, very simple questionnaire. Just gives us a sense of who you are, and then we'll set up a call. If it's not with me, it'll be with Pauline, my wife. Just have a conversation to see, does this actually fit for you? So it'll be an experience of a lifetime. I think our specialty has become, kind of life-changing, experiences, whether it's Ireland or whatever it happens to be. And we put a lot of effort into them, and I believe that this is going to be no different. It is going to be no different. I won't make empty promises what it'll do. All I know, it'll help a lot of young kids who don't have parents, who don't have support, and I believe that you will grow substantially as a human being as a result of that. So that's really it. I'm excited. I'm scared shitless. I don't know why. I think this is one that's been, I believe it could be so powerful. I think that's what scares me so much. But personally, this has scared me, and I think that's been part of the reason I haven't run it for so long. And now that it's finally kind of coming, it's the one kind of sad piece is my wife won't be joining me or joining us, is because it's been kind of the vision that we've held together. But nonetheless, I'll be taking about probably 8 people, no more than 10 people on this experience, and I'd love you to consider joining me. Take care. Thank you.